super different and weird, and so that's exciting.
For people who maybe aren't steeped in taxonomy nerdhood, could we give people some like a frame of reference for how unique like a family is? Like at what level would like a family be?
Yes, that's a great question. So, you have kingdom, phylum, class, family, or order, family. Many of us know that sequence, right, of this sort of hierarchical way of looking at the world's diversity. A family is a nice sort of way of thinking about living things, I think, because usually the species within a family share recognizable characteristics, things that we go, oh yeah, that's a blah. Okay, so for example, classic example would be Canidae, which is the family of dogs, right? The wolves, foxes, dogs, all that. That's Canidae. You know a member of that family when you see one, right? It's unmistakable. Same thing with cats, Felidae.
It's giving canine.
Yeah, it's giving canine vibes, right? So it's like that's, and that's the thing. Now, if you go up to the next level of order, it's so inclusive that things in that order are not necessarily recognizable as things in that order. So when we're talking about this Kagu, it's in this family Rhinochettidae or Rhinochettidae. And again, it's the only member in that family, so it's not something you're going to mistake with anything else. There are no close relatives. But, for example, Parulidae would be the family of the North American woodworkers, right? And you probably could recognize one of those if you are at all familiar with North American birds. You say, oh yeah, that's probably in that family of North American woodworkers.
Yeah, it like has like a category. You have a bucket you can put it in your brain.
Exactly. And with birds, there are about 250 families. And so it works for my brain, and that's why in my podcast often I do an episode at the family level, because it's meaningful. If you go up to higher levels, it's a little less meaningful. And there are 11,000 plus bird species, and so that's a little too far the other direction, a little overwhelming. But if you think about families, you can kind of talk about their general features and things, and it all makes sense, hopefully.
I pulled up, just some pictures of the Kagu, and there are so many features that look like they go on different birds.
Yes.
And like it almost has like a chicken shape, but like weirdly long feet, and then almost has like the head of like not quite a pigeon, maybe something like a swamp hen. Like a lot of I'm like I recognize all of these features independently, but not together.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You can't quite put it in a box because it is a box of one. Even if you've never seen one, it's the only one in there. So exactly. So this is a slightly larger than a chicken. It's a mostly gray bird with long reddish-orange legs.
Speed camera ahead.
Kind of a thick, long reddish-orange bill. And it's got this amazing crest on its head. That's one of the outstanding features, right? And it can raise and lower those crest feathers. It kind of looks like long hair or like a mullet hanging out the back when it's relaxed. But if it wants to express itself, that crest comes way up and is super dramatic and really cool.
I wish we could do that.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I guess we kind of can, right? Like when your hair raises because you're like scared or something like that.
Goosebumps.
But like I want that on the top of the head.
Right. But then everybody would know you're scared when you're scared, and that maybe wouldn't be.
Oh, that's true. You can't be like, I'm not even scared. I'm not even scared, bro.
You go up to give a public speech or something, and everybody's like, oh man, she's terrifying. I'm not going to believe a word she says. So the Kagu, the other thing about their physical features is that they have this wing display to communicate to other Kagus because they're very social, or I think as a threat display, they spread their wings and they have these really bold black and white bars on the feathers that are really beautiful. And all of these birds today I have actually seen in the wild, and we'll talk about where this bird is found in a moment, but I regret that when I saw it, it was really cool, I didn't get to see this particular wing display. So anyway, but it is really neat.
I know that is like disappointing aesthetically, but also I feel like that speaks to like you being a good bird watcher. You know what I mean? Like you didn't stress the bird out, and you didn't you were a polite and courteous guest to the bird.
Yeah, totally. I would much rather the bird not be afraid or feel the need to give me a threat display and me miss out on that. That's totally fine. So, but the really interesting thing about this wing display is it is one of the things that links this bird in this family to its closest relative. It doesn't have any close relatives, but its closest relative is a bird called the sun bittern. And the sun bittern is a South American bird, and we haven't talked about where the Kagu is, and I'll tell you now, it is